Good morning, guys, and welcome to episode 1 of Boss Talks on Prep TV, where we interview and chat with female business owners, entrepreneurs, influencers about their businesses, their journey, how they're impacting women today, and we just have a good time. I'm your host, Danielle. You can also find me at the fashion and beauty blog, The Stylist Corner, or Deep Brick Media, and Primp is my baby. If you are an influencer, female business owner, entrepreneur, I would love to also connect with you and collaborate in some way. Today I am hosting Miss Chelsea, the Sabotage Queen. She works to help coaches stop sabotaging themselves and liberate themselves. She is so inspirational. She always has something to say that really hits the soul, and I'm really excited to learn more about her coaching business, what it's been like coaching online and in St. Louis, how she's grown, and what other knowledgeable types of things she has to say. So everyone, give a warm welcome to Chelsea.
So, how did it come about? Honestly, I was coaching. I've kind of gone through a whole cycle with coaching. I started coaching teen girls was my first main focus. I was coaching them on body image issues. That was January 2018 and loved it. I mean, I just felt like it would be a really cool role to be like coaching these teen girls who are ready to like heal certain things before they had to go through the ringer with their body like I did. And like just being kind of more like a cool aunt kind of role, because I wasn't like parent age. It was kind of like in the middle. So I started that and I loved it. And then just through networking, I mean, I was talking to a lot of people online. I was in like different groups for my own business coaching with people like me who ran businesses. And I was like, man, like I just have so much in common with these people, you know, like and there's a different maturity level to obviously women who are running a business. It's just different. They have a whole different world of issues that I have faced, was facing, like continue to like cultivate. Whereas with the girls, it was like something I had went through, something I'm not going to say like figured it out. Right. Cause there's still bad body days, but it just wasn't an issue anymore. So it was like, I was helping them and it was great. But then I was like, man, like running a business is a bitch. Like it's a fucking bitch, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So I was just like, man, like I really want to help millennials, and like sabotaging. I'm like, the reason I'm the sabotage queen is like, I am the queen of sabotaging. So like it happens all the fucking time. And so
do you believe that? So are you thinking of it like sabotage is a bad thing, or can it be a good thing?
I don't. So I actually don't subscribe to like good or bad. So that's
Like
an
that.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't believe in like morality. I believe everything's neutral and the mind like maps on a story of good or bad on top of it. Right.
I like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, here's the fucking deal. Like if you've been kicking ass and like showing up, and then eventually like you get so tired that like you crash in front of the TV with Chinese food and Vampire Diaries for 8 hours, like,
Oh my God, me this weekend. What? I'm literally like season 6 of Vampire Diaries. How did this happen?
same, we are too. I mean, it's a full-time job to watch that show. There's so many episodes.
Oh, so good though. So good.
It is. It is. And so like when shit like that is inevitable. That's the thing. Sabotage is inevitable. It's just the human condition. Like our minds have a ceiling for how good we believe we can have it. And so inevitably, as we work to up level, we're going to be smacked back down and do something that is self-defeating. And so we can either berate ourselves for doing something that was really inevitable, which actually propels sabotage forward. Like, so if you're going to beat yourself up, it's just going to snowball, right? It's kind of like waking up the next day after you didn't work out, you ate like shit, you watched TV for 8 hours, and it's like, God, I'm a piece of shit. And then it's like, well, I'm not going to get up early today then. Like, and it keeps compounding because we make it mean something about us instead of like, okay, like that was the past.
That's huge. Yeah. I like that. I'm trying to, like, I'm kind of going through a phase myself where I'm trying not to, like, I've totally been victim of the whole productivity thing where like you're always like I'm always just trying to be productive, and sometimes I'm like, whoa, like it's okay to crash right now.
Yes.
Like, I'm not gonna like you're saying, it's like I don't need to link it to how I am like as a human or like as a worker. Like it's just kind of neutral. Like it's happening. There's my how I'm feeling, and then there's me. And like they're two separate things. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I feel what you're saying. I like that.
Yeah, no, they're completely separate. And that's one of the main things I work with my clients on is like, let's separate this collapsing of self-worth and production, because it has nothing to do. You are innately worthy. Like, if I'm telling you, if you sit and you do absolutely nothing for the rest of your life and you just watch TV and like masturbate, fine. Like, you are still as worthy as you would be if you became a superstar. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, one and the other would make you feel better about yourself, right? Like, probably. Um, but it doesn't actually mean anything about your worth. And so when we can separate the two, it becomes less of a resistance and force thing, because your inner child isn't going to rev up against you when you're like, well, I need to get this, and this done in order to be like, feel good about myself. And your inner child's like, fuck you, love me anyway. I'm going to eat 10 pounds of Cheetos. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
I love it. No, I love it. That's such an important message. So like that needs to be what we're teaching people right now, what we're teaching like young girls right now, because for so long it's been the opposite. So the fact that we're kind of bringing that in now, and that you're trying to instill this message, that's huge. I love it.
Thank you.
Tell me like a little bit more about yourself and your story. Like, so you're from St. Louis.
I'm from St. Louis. Well, I'm from Farmington, technically. That's like,
Okay. So
yeah.
my sister lived in Farmington when she went to
Oh,
New York. I'm from Perryville. So I'm like, I know Farmington. I did not know you were from Farmington. I had no idea. So
yep.
you're also kind of a small town, but you had to get the heck out of there.
Yeah, well, my story it was a little like sad and dark, but yeah, basically I had to move here because my mom passed away when I was 10. And so I was like splitting time. My dad lived in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and like, it's part of the story, I mean, it sucks, and like I miss her. I don't know. And it just, I don't know, big picture now, I was 10 then, I'm 25 now, like looking at it, it's like, the way things happen, they just happen that way. You know what I mean? And it's like, shit, where would I be if I was still in Farmington?
Right.
I don't fucking know.
Weird to think about. Like, even the dark things that happen to us sometimes, like, I have to be a little bit, like, sometimes I'm like, well, that's why I am who I am. That's why I've had these certain ideas, and somehow I'll be able to impact other people in those ways.
Absolutely.
You are so strong with everything. Just like me, just being an outside person and just seeing little glimpses of things that you've dealt with and experiences that you've gone through. Like, I see that you are this like strong, badass woman, and you literally, like, you have a gift of communicating with people, and you're going to give back so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I know you kind of talked a little bit about how we got started into the Sabotage Queen. Did you always like want to be a coach? Did you just like feel it inside you that you really liked connecting with people in that way?
So that's actually really interesting. I also have like a unique story, because I deal with this with coaches. It's like, how, like, they want to become a coach, and like, what do they need to go through, and what are the certifications, and da 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 da. And my story is just so unique, which I'm like, fuck, like, that's great, but it's like, I can't really have people replicate it, because so when I moved in with my dad and my stepmom became a life coach when I was like 11 or 12.
Okay.
So I've literally been in this world, like in the life coaching, law of attraction, meditating, like fucking yoga, Ho'oponopono, all this shit, gratitude, all of it, since I was very young. So yeah. So it was like, it's how I,
People don't get into it until they're like in their 20s.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I went to like retreats with all these people and like older people and like
school telling girls like all about the law of attraction, and they're like, what are you talking about, Chelsea?
yeah. Yes. No, that absolutely happened. Like with my friends.
I'm so into the law of attraction. We can
Yeah.
be nerds about the law of attraction together. I think. I'm starting to get into yoga a little bit, but I love energy. And that's how we initially connected in the first place.
Yes.
I think some people are just more in tune, and like when you learn how to master your own energy, like I feel like everything goes more smooth in your life.
It really does, you know, and you become less, you know, you take yourself out of that like victim role in your life. Which, you know, it doesn't mean that we don't go back there. You know, I still have days where I'm like, why the fuck is this happening to me? Or like feel bad for myself, right? Like it's inevitable. But yeah, like you're saying, like when you master your energy, when you really ground yourself and you feel connected and you harness those energies, it's like, you know, you realize how much of a powerful force you are in your life, and things aren't happening to you, they're happening for you. And that just, I mean, that perspective shift is everything, you know?
So you were young, you were exposed to the law of attraction and yoga stuff.
Yeah, all the things. I mean, and there were hurdles that came with it. I mean, being so young and like being exposed to those things, like it is a little disorienting, which is why I think it's not a lot of people's path. I've heard that from other people. It's like kids are actually not ready for stuff like that, which it wasn't a problem, but like there were things that like I just wasn't ready for. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was like gratitude and affirmations and like all the things like Byron Katie. I mean, all these big fucking people that I was like reading when I was like 15, 16. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, because that's how I dealt with like so many, like OCD. I had OCD, still have OCD, like body image issues, codependency in my relationships, like dealt with a lot of like unhealthy boyfriends, like, but it just changed the way like I wrangled the beast a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. So, and now you are giving that back through your coaching. You're kind of, because you have done so much like work with yourself, and it seems like, I mean, you've been studying this stuff since you were younger. So now you're able to, with your coaching, do you kind of add some of that in?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, and a lot, you know, I've read a lot, I've studied a lot, I've gone to a lot of places, but I don't have any certifications. I don't bash certifications. Like I think there's a time and a space, especially if you're not kind of in that world, you know? But I mean, truthfully, I feel like, you know, I went to the school of hard knock life, like, and dealt with so many things. And then experience is everything.
Like, seriously, I mean, it's just, you don't learn things like sitting and, you know, taking a couple PowerPoint present. Like, no, you learn things in real life.
Exactly. And like dissecting yourself. Like for me, that's so key. Like stripping myself away and like dealing with what's there. Like I'm always gonna deal with this and like put myself on like the metal like slab and like rip myself open and figure out what's going on and like put myself back together so that I can, you know, hopefully reverse engineer it for other people, because I'm not unique. Like we're not unique really, you know, in the way that we work typically.
I feel like you're so good at that too. Like a lot of your posts and your promotions I've seen kind of they talk about that, about like having to kind of open yourself up and dissect certain things about yourself that make a lot of people uncomfortable. Even sometimes I'm reading it and I'm like, damn, that's gonna make me kind of face something about myself, a truth that I've like been pushing back.
Yeah.
But I know it's gonna be good. Like it's gonna be good for me.
Yeah. Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah, I definitely do kind of brand myself on truth slaps, like loving bitch slaps. Like
it's so hard. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to, you know, a lot of us don't want to face those things, but that's the only way that we can better understand ourselves, I think, and
yes.
live more of a healthy life.
Absolutely. And sometimes these are the things people don't want to hear. And I'm just like, I'm willing, like, this has been my mission. It's like, I'm willing to be the target for someone if it gives them the opportunity to look within. Doesn't mean they'll take it. They could get triggered by me and feel some type of way about me, but it's an opportunity for them to look at themselves, and they can take it or not, but that's my gift. Like, for people, that's what I'm offering,
Yeah. So do you mostly do your work online? Or do you do much like in St. Louis area, or are you finding that you're wanting to kind of like expand outside of St. Louis?
Yeah, no, there's definitely been an expansion. I still have my St. Louis people, like, for sure, from friends and just the connections here, because it's such a cozy network, really, um, even online. But yeah, I have expanded, like, yeah, so I'm planning to do just worldwide. I have somebody in another country that I've coached, like, which is pretty cool. It's like when I had that happen, I was like, oh my God.
Huge. That's when you know, like, okay, you're online, like you are doing the thing. That's so cool.
Yes. Yeah. Well, my main goal in life is freedom, right? So I did the in-person thing, which was great. And like,
Where you would like meet with someone one on one and
yeah, they'd actually come to my house and I'd coach them, which was awesome. And I became like a fucking house cleaner and coach. Like, every time they were coming over, I'm like cleaning my house, and I'm
yeah.
like, dude, this is not it.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
Right. So yeah.
Personal space sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just, there's something energetically easier about talking on the phone. Like, I can vibe and roll, and it doesn't take as much energy as like being with somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. So did you start doing more so online like when COVID hit, or was that completely pre-COVID before
It
anything?
was pre-COVID for sure. God, that
Has
is a
COVID,
great
has COVID
question.
like affected your business?
I have done incredible in COVID, and I'm like,
Good. Because everyone's at home like, oh shit, I gotta work on myself, kind of, or I gotta work on my coaching business.
yes, yeah. So that's, I'm like, man, I like send so much love to everybody impacted by it. And like, me and my boyfriend, we lucked out. Like, he did really great. I've done really great.
Is he a coach?
No, but he does want to come onto the business eventually. That's our plan.
Trying to sneak him in a few times. You guys are very cute together. Like,
Oh, thank you. He's a gem. He really is. He's a fucking gem. He keeps my balloon tethered to the earth. So
good. You got to have that. So, what made you transition into coaching coaches specifically? Like, were you at first working with the individual and you just realized you liked more so coaching the coaches?
yeah, so I remember I was coaching someone because I transitioned out of the teens and the body image, and then I started coaching like someone my age, a millennial, just on life. And they ran a business, but I didn't so much coach them on that. And I just started to like just be with the mind of like you're me, like, it's just such an even like parallel that I'm like, it's just so easy for me
Really
to.
good at connecting with other coaches and other business people. Like, you're really good at like just the way that you communicate. I feel like people at that level can really connect with what you have to say, and I feel like we'll hear you more because yeah, I just you're good at that. I feel like you found a niche that really fits you.
Thank you. Thank you. Seriously. Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. I mean, it's effortless in the ways that it is because I live it every single day. It's not like me teaching on something I used to deal with or something. It's like something I'm constantly dealing with, because business is, to me, my bias is like, business is like saying I do every fucking day. Like, it isn't a one-time 5-minute commitment at the altar with a whole bunch of people watching. Like, it's every fucking day. Like, you fucked up yesterday, you overspent, like, great, get back on the horse, show the fuck up. Like, it's every moment. It's every moment commitment. And that's the nature of the beast, and it's beautiful because there's freedom here, and there's also like an intense level of like self-discipline and like wrangling yourself. And to me, it doesn't matter the strategy and all that shit. The mind is where it matters in business, because like we said, the energy, like if you're feeling like shit about yourself, like you're not going to feel worthy of making the money. You're not going to be receptive to it. Right. And so, yeah, like, I don't know. It gets me wet. Like talking about that, just, I'm like, that is my juice.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So right now with where you're at, what's your next like goal with your business?
So my next big goal, there's like two. One is that we are planning to move. Yeah.
Can this be published? Is this a big secret?
This can be published. I'm not going to tell you where. I'll tell you it's a
Okay.
big city. I haven't announced where yet.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
like you guys are starting to really figure out the details, or just like you figured it out and now you're kind of like gonna wait a year?
no. So, yeah, I do not want to wait a year.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
It's really exciting because we've been waiting forever, like to find this space that felt like us, and nothing fit, nothing just fucking fit. So we finally like it like came through as things always do. And it was like, oh my God. Yeah. So the plan is like, he'll be like, I'll run my business there. Which I'm super excited about energetically, because I've wanted to live outside of St. Louis my whole life.
I feel
yeah. And it's a great place, but I'm like, I need to like explore. Right.
Yeah.
So he'll get a job, like he'll be interviewing to get a job where we want to move. And then like, we'll run it there. And I'm just really excited because I've always intuitively felt like there's just going to be some big thing when I move, like that's like unleashed, untethered. Like I don't have my family around me. Like absolutely. Like it just, no one knows me. Like I get to be whoever the hell I want. Like I already am there, but moving just feels like the next fucking thing to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's honestly kind of like how when I moved out of my small town and even just to St. Louis, I was like, oh wow, like the world is different. I can kind of be more so what I like wanted to be.
Yes.
And I had so much more motivation, and like it was just more exciting. So I can completely imagine now going, from here to somewhere even bigger, maybe just somewhere different with a different feel. I could totally, yeah. That's exciting. That's super exciting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So we're doing that. We're planning, like he's interviewing for jobs and shit. Like so I mean, we could get a call and be like, all right, you got a month. And it's like, okay. So that's like, definitely we're like on edge a little bit. And I'm creating a course right now, actually, for business owners. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is what do you really work with all business owners? Do you work with life coaches specifically?
All business owners. And I mean, even inside of that, like it could be somebody who doesn't have a business, who wants a business, or somebody who just, I don't know, this shit, like I tailor it, market it for business entrepreneurs, but 90% of it is mindset. So anyone could benefit. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you just kind of like kick people into gear kind of, and like,
yeah,
stop sabotaging themselves. I love
absolutely.
It all kind of connects, like running your business and like your personal kind of like mindset. It all connects, just like we've been talking about.
So, all of it.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. Okay, so I know we're kind of like on our time here. So what is the biggest thing that you just kind of want to like stand for or impact women with around the world?
Oh, that's a good question. So what do I want to impact women with around the world? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or like what's like the key that you just want to like leave people with? Like how do you want to impact women? How do you want them to leave after like having a conversation with you?
Yeah, how do I want them to leave? I mean, I want them to feel empowered. And what is the key to being empowered? I think one of the most humbling teachings, lessons, understandings that I've ever received especially as a woman, in the spiritual community, because I totally believe in the spiritual, but I also believe in like the masculine. Like, I think sometimes we can get way too far off to the feminine, my bias. So I like, something that has just been so humbling for me is like, I learned this in a course. It's that your actions don't have to be dictated by your emotions. And for me, that was like, and what I mean by that, like, you don't control your emotions. Like, we can work.
Oh,
Here
we go. It cut off. You're back now.
Oh, no worries.
Sound for like 3 seconds, and it was like right at the good part, and then it came back.
Oh no. Okay, I'll say it again. It's fine. Yeah, so that like your actions are not dictated by your emotions. Because you don't control your emotions. You don't. Like,
let them control you. Is that kind of it?
Yes. And so like what happens a lot of times for business owners is that we have commitments, and then like PMS hits or something shitty happens, and then like we feel bad, and then we don't show up because we feel like crap. And the truth is that our commitments don't change because of our feelings. And my bias, like from the work of Stephen Pressfield, people like that I read, it's like, sabotage is going to test you. Your ego is going to test you. So most people won't push through the anxiety or the depression cloud. They'll just sit in it and they won't test its bounds. They won't stick their arm out to see that it's just a puff of smoke. So like, if you can allow the experience of anxiety or fear or sadness to be with you as you sit at your desk, show the fuck up and do your work, it will part. It will part because you showed up for yourself. You showed up for your commitment and not your emotions, because you're not dictated. You are not puppeted by your emotions. Be with them, allow them, but you can still show up.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Chelsea, you are an incredible business coach, life coach, coach of coaches. Like, I cannot wait to see what you do next. I mean, I literally just love looking at your Instagram page, like your brand. It's just so, I love it. I'm obsessed with you. And thank you so much for coming on today. Seriously.
Absolutely.
So much to me. You are episode 1 of Boss Talks on Prep TV. This was so cool. Like, seriously, I'm going to leave the rest of the day thinking about certain things that you said today, and I'm going to be like, how can I work on myself and my business in these ways?
Absolutely.
So when can we expect your course to be out?
To be birthed?
Yes.
So that is like middle of November.
Okay.
Beginning of November. So like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. And where can we be able to find it?
Instagram, for sure. So the Sabotage Queen.
The Sabotage, is it at the Sabotage Queen, all one word?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So everyone, seriously, be sure to follow Chelsea at the Sabotage Queen. She always has something like so powerful to say. You're going to love her. Seriously. Congrats on your exciting next step, next move. I cannot wait to see where that is. You're gonna do great. So it was so good chatting with you today, and thank you for coming on the show.
Same. Thank you.
Stay connected, and maybe someday once Primp has grown a little bit, I can connect with you wherever you are in that.
Yes. Oh my God.
Imagining different cities, and I'm like, where will she be?
In my bougie apartment, like.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I can see it. All right, girl. Thank you again, and take care. We'll connect on Instagram.
Oh, you too.
Okay.
Bye.